One of the many reasons why Stranger Things is such a captivating show is the fact that they have revealed us barely anything about their world, about the Upside Down, about Dimension X, about Hawkins. We really don't know anything. At the same time, we know that we know a lot about the Upside Down or maybe about the world of Hawkins. And in this video, I have written down 10 such questions for which we need answers for in Stranger Things Season 5. And the final 2 questions are such that I am going to make a separate video on them, but I still wanted to discuss it with you. And the only thing I ask of you is that please be patient and watch the entire video, and at the end of the video please take a moment and write down your theories for each and every question that we are going to discuss in this video. And also please check out some of the videos on my channel as well. At least check out this interesting video in which I have discussed about a specific line from Stranger Things Season 2 which can have a huge repercussions in Season 5. Please do that. Let's start. Question number 1. Why was Will Byers taken into the Upside Down? Was it specifically meant for Will Byers to be taken into the Upside Down? Whether it was a conscious choice to choose Will Byers or whether it was just dumb luck of poor Will Byers. What is the real reason? Now, I want to spoil you a couple of things here. So there was a play, Stranger Things First Shadow. I obviously didn't watch it, but there are a countless number of people who are saying it was specifically Will Byers because Hopper, Joyce and Will and even Bob Newby went to the same school. I mean, of course, but Henry here wanted to take revenge from Joyce, and in high school itself, Henry warned Joyce that she will have to suffer or something like this. Now, this is not a first-hand information, obviously, because I haven't seen the play, but there are a lot of people who are drawing these connections between the First Shadow play and why Will was taken into the Upside Down. But surely we would love a definitive answer for this in Season 5. Question number 2. Why is the Upside Down frozen on 6th of November 1983, the day Will Byers went missing?
The last entry is November 6, 1983. The day Will went missing. The day the gate opened. We're in the past.
Why it is frozen on that exact same day? For how long the Upside Down has been existing? This is a very interesting question, and every time we go deeper into the lore of Stranger Things season by season, we get to encounter some new things, and I am extremely excited to know the answer in Season 5. And this also takes me to question number 3, which is, what is the difference between Dimension X and the Upside Down? Is the Dimension X now the Upside Down, or what the hell is the difference between these two? Now I understand most of you might be thinking that Dimension X just a name for Upside Down before our party members designated a name to the Upside Down or whatever. So the thing is, they are different, at least from the looks of it. I'll tell you why. In season number 4, when we get the story of Vecna, we can see when Vecna enters the portal here, when small little L banishes him, we see he enters into a dimension, right? But this dimension is extremely different from the Upside Down that we see. The Upside Down is dark, it has red lightning, it is blue, it is dark, it is cold, and most importantly, it's a replica of Hawkins. But on the other hand, when we see Vecna get into this dimension is yellow. It is yellow, it is not dark, it is not, it doesn't have red lightnings, it is yellow, and at the same time it has vines. And we also see a couple of demo dogs here, and here Henry also encounters this higher being or this higher potential, source of energy or whatever, which he tries to control and makes it into Mind Flayer. So the question remains, was this Dimension X transformed into the Upside Down, or is the Dimension X completely different than the Upside Down? And here we can even stretch this theory that the Dimension X looked like this before Henry entered it, and slowly he converted this Dimension X into Upside Down, or maybe these are two completely different worlds now. What is happening here? We really want to know. Question number 4. Why there were only 4 deaths required in season number 4? Right. You see what I did there?
It showed me gates. 4 gates. Vecna's clock. It always chimes 4 times.
4 kills. 4 gates.
So in season number 4, we got to know that Vecna wants to enter our world. He wants to, conquer our world and everything. But here he specifically wants 4 deaths. Why 4 deaths? And by those 4 deaths, he creates these small little gates. But why specifically 4? What's the angle behind it? What's the lore behind it? What's the theory behind it? What's the logic behind it? You really want to know the answers here. Number 5. The Russian storyline. So I want to take you back to question number 3, where we discussed about the Mind Flayer, right? Now, in season number 2, Mind Flayer was the, real big baddie. But in season 4, we get to know that it is now controlled by the Russians, or it is now captured in some capacity by the Russians. Now, where does this Russian angle go on? Because the Russians were clearly up to it right in the timeline of season 2 itself. Now, let me remind you, when the Russians started to explore the possibilities of the Upside Down, or maybe the first first time that they wanted to create a gate that we see at the start of season 3, that is actually a time in June 1984, which was only about 6 months after Will Byers was found, or maybe after Will Byers went missing. So it only took the Russians 6 to 7 months before they started doing their experiments, and then of course later on they came to Hawkins and all the season 3 storyline came into existence. But the thing is, what are the Russians doing? Where is their storyline headed? Because in season 4 a huge thing happened in Russia. Anyways, we want the answers to that, and we want a definitive answer to how that story is going to align with the larger context or the larger scheme of things. Number 6 is Vecna, Eleven's biological father. Now in all likelihood this could be a possibility here. Now I'll take you back to season number 4. I've actually talked about this in a previous video, that the way he is talking to Eleven, the way his nurturing hand is coming into play, the way he's talking to her, it feels fatherly. It feels fatherly, and the fact that he was the first one who had superpowers, and then even in the flashback to Nancy, Vecna or Henry says that after Dr. Brenner took him, soon there were others similar to him were born. And I think we all can agree that Dr. Brenner is that kind of a guy who might make this happen, that he might make different babies out of Vecna, out of Henry, by using his blood or whatever. I don't want to go into the biology of things, but there is a strong possibility that Eleven could be the daughter or the biological daughter of Henry. I want to know what you think about this. Number 7, again it is connected to the backstory of Vecna that we saw in season number 4, and that is this line.
They're not gone, 11. They're still with me. Near.
Now this line really makes you wonder that are all those people really dead? Or are all those people are there with Vecna? Now I don't mean physically there, but I do feel that they're conscious. Like the entire Upside Down is based on the bedrock of the theory of hive mind, of hive, of a single conscious. Now this also brings in a possibility that everyone that Vecna consumes, that means Barbara or even Eddie, they don't have a physical body now, but they do have their mental conscious, which is now with Henry. But the point I want to make here is that are those people that have been consumed over these years, are they really dead, or are they conscious with Vecna? And I think there is a strong possibility that they are not dead after all. I mean, they are dead, but they are with Vecna. they are maybe imprisoned by the mind of Vecna. That could be a cool thing to explore. And now that I think about it, it could be the reason how he was able to create the replica of Hawkins, because he has their memories, right? So Henry have killed all of these people and he has their conscious with him, let's assume that. So basically he has their memories as well, but he has their thought process, he has their deep dark secrets, and he have used all of that and made a replica of Hawkins in the Upside Down. That could be a good thing to explore, right? Now, the 3-headed monster that we see in season number 4, which was drawn by Will Byers. What happened to it? We were all expecting in season number 4 that it will come into fruition at the end of season 4, but it didn't. So that definitely pushes that to season number 5, and we can definitely have something related to it. And also the fact that we have seen this thing in the teaser of Stranger Things, and many people have drawn comparison with this to the 3-headed monster or the monster in general. So yeah, I wanna see that what's happening there. Now that brings us to the final 2 questions, and they are very interesting. Number 1, who is the real baddie? Who is the real villain here? Is it the Mind Flayer or is it Vecna? Now we know the Mind Flayer or the higher power being existed before Henry. And now I read this somewhere, and someone said that Vecna is not controlling the Mind Flayer, but now it is the other way around. That means the Mind Flayer is controlling Vecna here. That could be a very interesting thing to explore. Now here I want to give a shout out to 2 people who commented on the previous video and actually stated a very interesting theory here. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you doing that. And the thing that they're suggesting is that there could be a power struggle between the Mind Flayer and Henry, and that is extremely interesting. But before I get into it, I need to give you a little bit of context on what the comment was actually upon. So the previous video that I made was on one specific line that we saw in season number 2, where Will Byers is suggesting that the Mind Flayer wanted to kill everyone else but Will. Now this is weird, right? Because in season number 3 and 4 we get to know that everything that has been happening here it has all been a plan to get to 11, for Henry to get a revenge on 11. Now if that is the case, now that could really mean that the line in season 2 was just a mistake. But if it was not a mistake, then it could bring out more theories, which is such that there is a power struggle between Henry and Mind Flayer. Henry, when he entered Dimension X, he tried to control Mind Flayer. He was successful in it, and this is what we learn in season 4, that he was successful in it. But maybe later on he was not able to fully control the Mind Flayer, or maybe it could be the Mind Flayer who actually took Will in the first season, or maybe it was just Vecna who took Will in the first season. He infected him, sent him back to make him a spy again. But here in season number 2, the Mind Flayer actually overpowered Henry, therefore Henry was missing in season 2. So there's also a possibility that the Mind Flayer wants a host, wants a body to control, and therefore he connected with Will in the second season. Makes sense, right? So I want to keep the possibilities open for this theory, and I want you guys to comment below and share your thoughts about this. I'll definitely going to make a video on this. The final question: why the heck Will doesn't remember what happened with him in the Upside Down? Now this is a question that I have discussed on this channel a million times. Now those who all have been following this channel know that I have been on this question, fixated on this question for so long, that why the hell Will doesn't remember what happened with him in the Upside Down. Now there are many factors to this, right? Maybe he doesn't remember at all. The trauma was so big that he really doesn't remember what happened with him in the Upside Down. Or we have seen that Vecna infected Will, so maybe it's a part of the grand scheme of things that he doesn't remember what happened with him in the Upside Down, because there was not a single scene in which we have seen Will talk about what happened with him in the Upside Down, not even to his mother, not even to the doctor, and he is such a mama's boy. And now tell me, do you believe Joy is not badgering her son of telling her what happened with him in the Upside Down? She must have asked about it. Now of course she must have given him a space, but 4 seasons is a lot, but 3 years is a lot of space, right? 3 years is a lot of space. But anyways, these two final questions are very interesting. Is there a power struggle? Is there really a power struggle between the Mind Flayer and between Vecna, and who is controlling whom, and who the real villain is here? And the second question: why Will doesn't remember what happened with him in the Upside Down? These two questions, along with the other 8 questions that we have discussed, please go down in the comment section and please share your theories on each and every question. I want you to do that. I please want you to do that. Please share this video with every Stranger Things fan, And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please check out some other videos on my channel as well. Thank you so much.